We'll settle down into the hips. Now you can either have the knees wide or take them together. It's up to you depending on how your hips feel today. We'll draw the belly in as we lengthen those fingertips forward. Coming into your child's pose, we'll lengthen the chest to the floor. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's land on the mat. Anything that you've been managing, anything you've been in charge of, navigating, problem solving, all of that stuff, just let it go. You don't have to deal with anything except you being on the mat and being present with your breath for the next 60 minutes or so. Take a deep breath into the base of the ribs and exhale, draw the belly in. Let the chest drop. Inhale, draw the belly in. And exhale, let the belly drop. Amazing. We'll take a deep breath in. Begin to press the belly button through to the spine. Feel an upward lifting sensation through the torso as we bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, and bring the knees underneath the hips if they were wide. So we'll move into a series of cat-cow. We'll draw the belly in on the inhale, round through the top of the back, and really feel the shoulder blades separate here. Tuck the chin right in as far as it will go. So we're feeling a really big stretch all the way through the base of the skull. We then exhale, drop the belly to the floor. Either lengthen the spine, eye gaze 45 degrees forward to the front of the mat, or you can drop the belly and take the eye gaze up if your neck feels fine to do so. Draw the belly in, round through the top of the back. And then we exhale, drop the belly to the floor. Let's pace it out a little bit. Belly in, round. So there's this beautiful wave sensation through the spine that's coordinating with the breath. It's fluid, it's flowing. If you feel a little clunky through the spine, maybe you've got a couple of tight spots, just linger in those little tight spots for a moment and then continue on. Exhale. Let's do one more. We inhale, draw the belly in. Exhale, drop the belly to the floor. We lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears and separate the shoulder blades. Now from here, keeping the arms straight and hugging the elbows into the center line. So you'll feel that the arms actually have an external rotation. We're not locking the elbows out though, so we want to make sure that the arms are engaged and the spine is long. We're going to drop the chest to the floor, feel the shoulder blades slide together behind the body, belly's drawing in. We then separate the shoulder blades and squeeze the shoulder blades apart, dome the top of the back. Drop the chest to the floor, keep the elbows straight, and then separate, squeeze the shoulder blades apart. So we're working all the way through the rhomboids. Yes, little technical term there, the rhomboids. They're the muscles that are between the shoulder blades. There's a big diamond shape of muscle all the way across the top of the back. And they're really important for maintaining posture so that we can get big deep breaths of air in and not have the chest and the head dropping forward. So when we're strong through the middle of the back, it's all part of that postural alignment that's so important for our breath management. So when we can get a big deep breath of air in, we stay nourishing the brain, we stay nourishing the body, hormone function is effective, we're not moving into that fight or flight adrenal stress response, so we can manage our anxiety levels, our mood. It's all really important. So by working through the strengthening through this rhomboid area, as we do this multiple times repetition, you should be starting to feel a little bit of a burning sensation through the middle of the back. We'll do 4 more. Keep drawing the belly in for 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful. From here, we're going to take a deep breath in. Transfer the weight into the the left hand, reach the right arm forward. Try not to do any other movement through the spine. We then place the hand down. So you really have to engage all the way through the undercarriage of the body. Belly draws in, lengthen the left arm forward by the ear. Continue to draw the shoulders down. So we don't want to have the shoulders creeping up by the ears. Keep everything long and spacious. And then place the left hand down. Let's go right and left. Squeeze, inhale and exhale. 2 more. Right and exhale. Here's left and exhale. Now we're going to add on. So the right arm reaches forward, the left leg reaches back. You can either toes flex or toes point. We then bring everything down. Exhale. Opposite sides. Inhale. Belly's drawing in. Exhale. We inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Beautiful. So we're really focusing on the breath. We're focusing on awareness of every single portion of the movement. Feel all of those muscles working, engaging, lengthening. And we'll go 1 more. Left arm, right leg. And then exhale, come back to your neutral tabletop. Press back into those heels. Keep the toes tucked under. And just a little press into the heel of the hands. Shoulders are drawing down. So we don't want to be just hanging out and sort of pushing back with no activation. Make sure that everything is engaged still. We then come back to your tabletop position. So let's take circles around the wrists and around the hips for 5. If you want to start moving into a stretch through the side of the body, you can do that. Whatever feels good, really. You want to add some circles with the neck and the head. If that feels good to do, go for it. And then if you're feeling complete on one side, we'll go the other side. Moving through those hips, moving around the wrists. Side stretch all the way through, big snakes through the spine. And then when you're ready, come to a neutral position. Taking the knees still directly underneath the hips, belly's drawing in, flatten out that lower back. So we don't want to be dropping the belly to the floor and tilting the sit bones. Make sure that everything is engaged and drawing in. We take a deep breath, yawn the right arm open to the sky. Now press down into the left palm, draw the shoulders away from the ears. So there's strong activation through the arms. We then interlace the right arm underneath the left hand and feel the back of the right shoulder into the floor. If you would like to add on to this, the option there is to take the left arm up to the sky and then find your right thigh with your left hand and yawn the left shoulder open just to increase that twist through the top of the back. We then lengthen the left arm up, place it down on the floor and unravel, yawning that right arm up to the sky. Come back to neutral. Let's go the other side. So we take the left arm all the way up, big deep breath, ground down through the heel of the right hand, shoulders draw away from the ears. We're lengthening the spine. Interlace that left hand underneath the right, palm up. You can stay here, or we can add on by yawning the right arm open. Take it behind the back, find your left thigh, and then yawn the right shoulder open to look up a little more. And then as we exhale, reach the right arm up to the sky, place it down on the floor, lengthen the left arm, yawn it open, and then back down. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, I'm going to grab hold of your ball or your cushion now. So we're going to place this into the nook, very technical term that, nook of your right knee, keeping the toes tucked under. Now you can untuck them. I personally find it much nicer for my kneecaps if I have my toes tucked under. That's just me. I just prefer that. So the option's there for you to do whatever's most comfortable. From here, we're going to squeeze your right leg 90 degrees. Now make sure that this thigh is 90 degrees parallel to the floor. This is not high enough. So really press it up so that we engage the top of this right glute. Keep the toe flexed towards the shin bone rather than just hanging out and being floppy. When we activate those feet, we also activate the hamstrings, which is what we're trying to work in this exercise, as well as the bum cheeks, the glutes. Fire them up, having sat down on them for too long. So we come down to the floor and then squeeze back. In and squeeze back. Now if you've got your pillow, all good, just squeeze that pillow super hard and tight. 10 and 9, bellies in, and 8. Here's 7, I'm going for 6, and 5. Check in with your eye gaze. You're looking and dropping the neck and looking back towards the feet. I promise they won't fall off. They're not going to go anywhere, so you don't need to look at them. Keep the eye gaze forward 45 degrees so the base of the skull is long. 2 more. Last one. We squeeze and hold 90 degrees. Heel draws towards the bum. Squeeze the cushion or your ball. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Squeeze. Hold. Hold that heel in firmly. Hold it there for 4. Oh, feels good, right? For 3. For 2, hello hamstrings. For 1, we come all the way down to the floor. We take it directly out to the side, fire hydrant, straight out to the side. Keep the thigh parallel to the floor, the foot lower than your knee, and the toes flexed. Come all the way down. You feel that in your glute, yeah? That's glute medius. Hello, glute medius. Introducing you to new parts of your butt cheeks. So this is really important for stabilizing through that hip joint. If you're a runner, it's really important that you have the glute medius is firing and effective to make sure that you don't get any knee problems. The tracking of your knee is all partly dependent on your glute medius being active and doing its job properly. Also, if you're a cyclist. And if you're none of those things, it's also still important to have glute medius firing properly. Healthy hips. Good. 5 and 4 and 3, 2. Last one we squeeze and hold. Now from here, squeeze the heel to the bum. We're going to draw the knee into the top of the tricep above the elbow and back to your fire hydrant. We're not doing many of these, but stay with me, guys. You can do this. We squeeze. Inhale, back to fire. Inhale, back to fire. Inhale, back to fire. 3 more. Here's 2 more. And last one. Good. Squeeze and hold. Lift the chest away from the floor, and then we lower down. Amazing. Let's take the ball out. Have a little rest back into your child's pose. You can drop the hips over to one side and then the other if you like. So that's your glute medius. All right. So we're going to take the ball, place it into the nook of your left knee. And we'll continue on the other side. So push back 90 degrees, belly draws in, dome the top of the back, lengthen the spine, eye gaze forward 45 degrees. We squeeze back and lower down. Squeeze and lower. Here's 3. Good. 4. Continuing to draw the undercarriage of the body up. We're not letting that back drop and getting any of this happening. Everything is neutral, not moving, totally stable. It's just the hinge at the hip. Make sure that we protect that lower back, really important. Good. Now for my folks that have any knee concerns, issues, discomfort, you can fold your mat over or grab another pillow and stick it underneath your kneeling leg. The option's there for you to do that. For 4, for 3, here's 2. Last one we squeeze and hold, heel to bum, pulse, 2, belly in, 3, 4. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another round. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze, hold it there. Engage that hamstring and then lower all the way down. Keep the engagement of the hamstring. We take the leg out to fire hydrant and back down for 2 and back down. Here's 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one for 10, we hold. Just check in with your foot positioning, alignment with the knee. We draw that knee in, top of the tricep, above the elbow joint, back to your fire. Draw it in, back to fire. Here's 5 and 4 and 3. Good. For 2. Last one. Squeeze, hold, fire hydrant for 4, for 3, breathing, 2 and 1. And lower down. Amazing. Well done, guys. Remove the ball. Have a little untuck of the toes. Reach the fingers forward. You can give the wrists a little wiggle if you like. That can be quite intense on wrists that aren't used to being in that position. So let it go. And give the spine a little wiggle if you like. Amazing. All right, so we're going to walk the hands all the way back into the knees. Now let's come to a seated position for now. I'm just going to take some of the pressure off the wrists. We'll come back to some more work on the other angle that we were, but for now I'm just going to give the wrists a little rest. So we're going to take the feet about shoulder width apart, place the hands onto the top of the knees, draw the belly in, lift the heart and chest. Now squeeze those shoulder blades together into the rhomboids. We've worked all that area, so you should be really connected with that right now. Lift the heart, lift the chest, and then we draw the belly back, dome the top of the back, tuck the chin in, big C curve. So if you are quite tight through the top of the back, this is a really nice stretch. It can be a nice stretch. We then press through, inhale and exhale, draw the belly in, round the top of the back, C curve. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and big C curve round. We inhale, big C curve around. We then sit tall, extend the legs forward, take the feet flex, slight bend in the knees. Really hug the glutes in towards the center line, so we're engaging those glutes. Reach the arms all the way up to the sky. We fold forward over those legs, holding on at either the shins, the ankles, or around the feet if you have the range. And bend the knees as much as you need to get the body on the thighs and get this lower back extended. So we don't want to have a rounded position through here with the shoulders up. Bend the knees as much as you need to be able to stretch the chest, find the feet, and then over time those hamstrings will start to open up because you're coming back and doing these sessions regularly. So it will. It's good, right? Yes, Sarah, of course. We'll keep coming back and we'll just keep improving. Amazing. All right, so we reach the arms all the way up to the sky. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, roll down with control, all the way down through to the floor. Take the soles of the feet to the edge of the mat. We're going to windscreen wipe those knees in. Just feel that lower back release. Beautiful release through that whole spine. And then we'll bring the feet back in to aligned with the sit bones. So from here, draw the belly into the spine, tuck the tailbone under slightly. So we're going to feel everything flatten into the floor. We then tilt the pelvis in the opposite direction, big gap underneath the back. So we're moving through neutral to flat, neutral to curve, neutral to flat, neutral to curve. So we often don't have an awful lot of mobility through the lower back, depending on, the sort of activity that you do in your day-to-day life. If you sit down a lot, if you play a lot of sport, maybe you do a lot of gym work, a lot of deadlifts, that can often have overdevelopment of the lumbar musculature. So it's important that we maintain the mobility through the spine, particularly as we age. A mobile, healthy spine is a young spine, no matter how old you are in age. Alright, so from here, we're going to take those hands down, palms up. We draw the belly in, roll through the spine, lifting the sit bones to the sky. And then we roll back down through the spine. And keep the belly pressed to the floor, flat back. At the top of that movement, we lift the heart, lift the chest, exhale. We come back down. We then take an inhale, roll all the way up through the spine. We then roll back down, keep the belly flat into the floor. As we exhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. Beautiful. Let's go 4 more. Rolling up through the spine. Rolling down, squeeze your glutes. Keep the glutes engaged. Lift the heart, lift the chest. Exhale. Inhale. 3 more. And lift. Good. 2 more. And lift. Last one. And lift. And relax all the way down. Beautiful. Now if you've got your ball, your cushion, pillow near you, grab hold of that now. If you don't have one, you can still do this exercise. It's just as effective and equally as important. This just adds a little extra to it. So I'm going to place the ball in between the knees now. Take the hands down by your side, draw the belly into the spine. We squeeze the feet off the floor. Shin bones are parallel to the floor, not dropping them. So they're parallel, 90 degree at the knee joint, 90 degree at the hip joint. If your thighs track in, means that you're not working your abdominals very hard. It's cheating. No, no, no. We bring them back to 90 degrees, okay? So be honest with yourself and be determined with yourself to keep the technique and the posture here. So we draw the belly in, taking the arms down towards the floor, palms down. We reach the head and shoulders off the floor. Chin is pointed directly to the ceiling. If we drop the chin, we close off the airway. That's never a good idea. Okay, we always want to maintain open airways, okay? So inhale, we lengthen the chin up to the sky. If you find that your neck starts to strain a little, which does happen, it's okay, push the tongue into the roof of your mouth and continue to breathe through parted lips. Exhale. Okay, so it's a really good way of maintaining the breath control, but disengaging the muscles and straining in the neck. We're going to continue with our hundreds pump with the arms. We inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Squeeze the ball, cushion or pillow firmly. If you have nothing between your knees, make sure that the knees stay directly aligned to the hips. Palms down, pump the arms. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you want more of a challenge and you have a ball or pillow between your knees, we can extend the legs up to the sky. And if you really want a challenge, you're feeling so super determined today and you're up for it and your technique's spot on, you can take the legs 45 degrees away from you. Good luck. We inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Big deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I can hear you guys from here. This is awesome. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Let's go 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze. Hold. Extend the legs. Bend the knees. Belly in. Extend the legs. Stay with me. You can do this. Exhale. We're not done yet. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. We inhale and exhale. You're nearly there. Last one. You're doing an awesome job. And then we place the soles of the feet down, reach the arms back and lower the head and shoulders to the floor. Amazing job, guys. And let it go. Good. Really well done. Okay, so I'm going to place that ball now. Nook of the knee, right leg. Point the toe and draw that knee into the chest. We extend your left leg all the way up to the sky, 90 degrees. Belly's drawing into the spine. We take a deep breath in as we interlace the fingers, have the thumbs free. We're going to place the hands at the base of the skull and the thumbs are tracking down either side of the neck. So we're getting this beautiful little cushion support there. Now the option here is you can either keep your shoulders, head and neck down with the elbows back for the duration of this exercise, or if you want to take it a little more challenging, because you guys are like pro Pilates people, then you can lift the head and shoulders off the floor. Okay, so your choice is there. Whatever you would like to do, you can even grade it up or grade it down as the set goes through, so it's up to you. We take a deep breath in, exhale, toe tap with the ball to the floor, and as we draw the right knee in, squeeze the ball between the heel and the glute and extend your left leg long, making sure that you connect the spine to the floor. We then inhale, toe tap, exhale, squeeze, inhale, toe tap, exhale, squeeze, inhale, toe tap, exhale, squeeze. Let's go 10. 1 and 2 and 3. Here's 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. We squeeze, hold, reach the arms to the top of the mat, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lengthen back. Place the right sole of the foot on the floor, remove the ball. We extend the right leg up to the sky now. Take the ball behind the left, interlace the fingers, either side. Toe tap first on the exhale. So inhale, exhale, toe tap, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, toe tap, inhale, lengthen. And 3, and extend, and 4, and extend. Let's double time. We go 1 and 2. Keep breathing. 3 and 4. You've got this. 5 and 6 and 7. Abs of steel, people. 8 and 9 and 10. We extend, hold, reach the arms to the top of the mat, come up a little higher. You can do this. Pointy toes, strong legs. Exhale, 2, 1. Lengthen the leg up to the sky. Remove the ball. Place the left foot down on the floor. I'm going to hold on behind that right leg. You can either flex the toe or point the toe. If you need it bent, that's absolutely fine. A little stretch. Well done. And exhale. Cool. Okay, we're going to place that sole of the foot down. Let's extend the left leg up now. Again, you can either flex or point, is fine. Draw the belly to the spine, anchor the tailbone down to the floor. Keep the back of the shoulders into the floor as well. And wherever you're at in your flexibility journey is perfect. It's exactly where you need to be. If you're here and your legs bent and you're feeling a stretch, awesome. If you're here, legs bent, but you're feeling a stretch, awesome. If your leg's on the floor and you're feeling a stretch, awesome. You should be with the Russian ballet. Good stuff. Amazing. All right, so we draw the knees into the chest. We take the legs over to the right side. And we come back through. Take them over to the left side. Let's come back through. We'll rock and roll up and down the spine a couple of times. Hopefully your wrists are feeling adequately rested right about now. And we'll come through crossing the ankles or roll over into taking the hands wide to the edge of the mat. Now, for the gentlemen in the room, your shoulders are probably broader than mine. So, I will suggest that you take your index finger and your thumb and either trace them to the edge of your mat or perhaps a little wider. And ladies, or anyone who has slightly narrower shoulders, you can come in, take them, rather than being underneath your shoulders, we do want to take them on the outside of your shoulders. So depending on where your shoulder positioning is, will then determine where your arm positioning is. So from here, we're coming into your tabletop position, arms are wide. Extend the hips forward so we create a long line from the shoulders to the knees without breaking that line by pushing the hips back. That's really important. So we press the hips forward, tilt the pubic bone under and squeeze the glutes, but lengthen the chest towards the front of the mat. The elbows will go out to the side, not squeezing into the body. That's a different push-up position. So we're squeezing them out to the side, broad push-up through the chest, lower down, and then come straight back up. So I'm going to descend for 2. Exhale, exhale, Inhale on the way up in 1 count. Exhale, exhale, inhale. They're really slow. They're good, right? Exhale, exhale, inhale. 5 more. Exhale and in. Exhale and in. Beautiful. Exhale and in. Exhale and in. Let's do 1 more. Exhale and in. We'll then press back, tent the fingers onto the floor. So we come to bring the pads of the fingers into the floor, shift the sit bones back, either forehead to the floor or chin to the floor, so that we come into a little puppy pose. Beautiful. We'll then come through to laying on your belly on the floor, and we're going to come and roll over onto your side. So taking the elbow underneath the shoulder, we're going to bend your bottom leg into a 90-degree position with the top leg stacking the hips extended on top. You can place your right hand onto your hip, making sure that we're lifting underneath these ribs. So we're not just hanging out as though we're by a pool with a mojito in our hand, as much as that would be really lovely, right? We're not quite there yet. So elbow is supported, we're lifting underneath the armpit and the lower ribs. Draw the belly in, pubic bone pushes towards the long edge of the mat. We lift and lengthen your top leg and lower down. Lengthen, lift and lower. We have 10 and 9 and 8. Here's 7, 6, 5. You can either flex or point the toe, whatever makes it feel more active through that leg. That's really the important portion of this exercise. 2, last one, we squeeze, hold, pulse the leg, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Draw the belly in, lengthen through the chest. We continue to hold, lift the leg a little higher. We then draw the knee to the front of the hip, straight in, and then straight back, keeping it above the hip line. Knee comes in parallel to the floor and then straight back. So imagine that we're coming into an almost squat position with the knee alignment and then straight back. For 5 and 4 and, feels good, right? Little burny sensation through that hip. And 2, good burn rather than bad burn. Last one. Hold, and then we lower down. Bring the knees in. We're going to change over to the other side now. Taking the left elbow underneath the shoulder. Bend your right knee into a 90-degree. Extend your left leg to the top of the mat. Hips to square, so we don't want to be rolling back. We certainly don't want to be rolling forward. We're lifting the rib cage. Left hand's on the hip. Belly's drawing in. Chest's broadening. We lift and lengthen for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, here's 3 and 2. Last one, hold little pulses. 10, 9, 8, belly in. Keep breathing deeply. 5, 3, 1. Squeeze, hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Lift underneath the ribs and the armpit. 2, 1. We draw the knee into the front of the hip. Extend back. 2. Extend, and 3. If you want to flex those feet, you can do that. Absolutely fine. Don't mind, just so long as the feet are doing something. 5 and 4. Here's 3. Belly's in for 2. Lengthening the tailbone as you draw the knee in. You're not tucking the tailbone under. Last one. Extend, hold, and then we lower the leg, draw the knees in, and we'll come through to a kneeling position now. Hands are on the hips, on the knees. Just take a little moment to feel the spine lengthen and make sure that there's no tension through the shoulders. You want to drop the right ear to the shoulder, you can, maybe the left ear to the shoulder. Now, we've got one more strength exercise. I'm throwing a curly one at you guys. Are you with me? I'm sure you are. We're going to do a little side plank. So we're going to take the hand underneath your shoulder. Fingertips can either point forward to the top corner of the mat or to the edge of the mat, depending on how your wrists feel and your body shape. Everyone's put together a little bit differently, so you find your sweet spot in terms of your hand position. We're going to take your right leg out to the top of the mat, sole of the foot on the floor, then step your left foot back, push the sole of the foot on the floor, place one foot in front of the other. We're going to reach the arm down by the side of the body, the legs are straight, we're lifting the hips, draw the belly in and lengthen the chest forward. We're only going to do a few of these, not too many, okay? So stay with me, you can do this, I know you can. We reach the arm over the crown of the head, bend the knees, and then squeeze the arm through and look towards the top of the mat. Reach the arm over, look towards the hand as we bend the knees, and then squeeze and press. We'll go 4 more. 4, squeeze, 3, squeeze, almost like you're trying to push off a wall in a swimming pool. And 2, squeeze, and 1, squeeze, lower the back knee down, bottom knee down, come to the other side, and we'll just change directly over to the other side. This time right foot's behind left, soles of the feet are on the floor, left hand's on the side of the body, squeeze the hips up, lift underneath the armpit, we bend the knees, reach the arm through overhead, and then squeeze. 5, and shoulders down, 4, bellies in, and 3, squeeze, 2, and 1, and lower the knee down, come back through to a kneeling position, and just have a little moment here. It's a tough one. And if you found that a little bit challenging, absolutely fine. You will build the strength up over time. Sometimes even just staying in the plank position is enough. You don't need to add the movement, but as you get a little bit more confidence and you feel a little bit more strength building, you can start to add that movement in. There's one to play with. Alright, so we give those wrists a little wiggle. We'll come through now to taking the right foot on the outside of the right hand, shift your knee back, keep it down on the floor, and we'll come down into your lizard pose. The idea is to try and press those hips towards the floor. If you find that you don't quite have the range but you're here, that's absolutely fine, just so long as you're feeling a stretch on the inside thighs and also probably into the glute here. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Let's step the hands back underneath the shoulders. Let's step that right leg back into your high plank. We then bring that same right leg forward, take the knee to the outer edge of the mat. Try and squeeze the shin bone so it lines up to the front of the mat. And we'll then fold forward over that leg into your yogic pigeon pose. Now, if you do have a pillow or a block and you're finding that this is a little difficult for you, you can pop the pillow or the block underneath your hip. So if we have your pigeon position here, you might want to place a block underneath the glute and then fold forward. Okay, that can just help ease into that posture a little bit. If you're finding that you've got knee pain, we don't want knee pain. That's never a good idea in this position. So often it is because your foot is too close into the groin and the knees open up and twisting too much. So what we want to do is really try and make sure that that shin comes out and you're making a 90-degree angle ideally. If you're finding too that folding forward is too much for you, just stay up on the hands. That's fine as well. We have 5, 4, 3. Having worked that glute medius, this is a really good stretch for what we've just worked really hard. So have to relieve off the work that we've created. Good, okay, so we'll come back up onto those hands, tuck that back toe under, step your right leg back and then just step the left leg forward, taking the back knee down onto the floor, and we'll fold forward onto your forearms. If you do have a block or a couple of novels there, a couple of books, avid readers, you can use your books, and we can come onto the elbows on the block. If you've got a rolled up towel, that can also be quite handy. In fact, even your ball, if you've got your ball, might be a bit squishy, but you can use that as well. You have to use your core when you do this though. A little extra ab work. Alright, so we'll step the hands underneath the shoulders, step the left leg back into your high plank. We then draw that same left knee forward. Same rules apply as the other side. Align the shin to the front of the mat, making sure that we take the hips over. So if you're finding that you're sitting back onto your left butt cheek, make sure that you get right over that front leg before you fold forward. So I want to make sure that this right hip is pushing towards the floor. And allow yourself to surrender to this. Take about 5 breaths and just let everything go. If you're finding that the breath starts to get a little tense and a bit tight, a bit congested and constricted, then this is the time that you focus on the breath and tell yourself it's okay, breathe, let go. Sometimes you have to have a little conversation with yourself and tell your body it's okay, you can release, you can relax, you can breathe deeply. We don't have to breathe high and tight in the chest. We're okay. Amazing. So let's come back up onto those hands. We'll step that left leg back into your high plank. Have a little transfer of the weight forward and back. So we're just flexing and extending those heels towards the back of the mat, moving through the ankle joint. Then lower the knees to the floor. We'll come to find your seated position on the floor. And in this moment, we'll place the hands down, palms up or down on the lap. Just close the eyes down. Taking a deep breath in. Exhaling. Now the option, folks, here is you can lay flat on your back if you would like to do that, or taking a seated posture. There's options there for you. If you find that the session has wiped you out completely and you just can't sit up straight, then take a lie down on the floor. Absolutely fine. But if you are seated, just feel the shoulders broadening. If you're laying on your back, just let everything go. Completely surrender to the floor. Find the sit bones anchoring into the floor in your seated position. Notice if you're straining forward in your seat with the shoulders forward over the hips. Just draw everything back into alignment. So we knit the lower rib cage together. We're feeling the lower abdomen engage. And if you are seated, in yogic terms, I'm going to invite you to engage what's called Mula Bandha. In Western terms, it is engaging the deep pelvic floor muscles. And by doing that, we start to feel a deep sense of engagement and support through the core of the torso. And the way that we do that is that we feel the rectum draw together and then pull up to just behind the belly button. So there's this sensation of a sucking together and lifting up. And as you do that, and over time, particularly as you start to condition the muscles within the pelvic floor, you'll find that the pelvic floor control, with breath control, with the movement of the diaphragm, the conditioning of those finer muscles will improve. You'll also find that the stability through the lower back improves as well. So if you do feel any lower back pain, this is a wonderful way of actually beginning to manage that. Allow the breath to flow, feeling the rib cage expanding and contracting. Above that engagement from the belly button down to the floor, there's engagement and control, but then there's a freedom to breathe through the rib cage above the belly button line. There's softness through the top of the chest. Feel the shoulder blades, an awareness of the shoulder blades, an awareness of the back of the body. And from this, our meditation seat, we will close the session with 4 breaths. I will then be silent for a few moments to allow you to experience the sensations moving through the body and the movement of the mind before we close. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Release the pattern of the breath. Allow your body and mind to be still. And from the seat of witnessing, simply observe what happens in this moment of stillness. Any thoughts that move across the mind, just to look at them as though they're floating clouds passing by. If there's any pain in the body or any discomfort, simply observe it without acknowledging it by pandering to it. Just simply sit with stillness and see it there. Oh, that's my leg gone numb. How interesting. Oh, that's my shoulder aching. How interesting. Also observe with interest if you find being still and not fidgeting challenging. Our body tries to distract us. And when we can observe those distractions without getting involved in that story, we begin to hone our resilience muscle, our emotional intelligence muscle, and our spiritual intelligence muscle, to simply be witness and observe. We don't always have to get involved. Those who take a deep inhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, begin to reach the arms up to the sky. Gently flutter your eyes open and bring awareness to the vision that you see before you. Bring the hands down to your heart prayer center. Gently take a bow. It's been an absolute pleasure guiding you all through this Pilates practice that's closed off with a little meditation. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and anything that you have learned, gained, observed, I hope that you take that with you off the mat, and that observation can inform you through the rest of your day in patterns and behaviors of yourself and others. It's all very interesting. Namaste, everyone. Again, as I say, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you have any questions, I invite you to come and find me on my Instagram page. That is figure_Jeannie. Once again, that's figure_Jeannie. I am open to all questions relating to well-being and how to navigate any challenges. So please come and find me there, whether it's nutrition, whether it's body stuff, whether it's movement stuff, exercise plans, or how to manage stress and anxiety. I invite you to come and ask me any questions that you'd like to in a private setting. Your work day. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.